What's going on, guys? Jacob Ober here. So, a few days ago, I ran a poll on my channel, and I asked you guys if you wanted to see my small collection of sports memorabilia. And the overwhelming majority of you said yes. I think it was like 81% said yes. So, I'm gonna go through all of the memorabilia that I've collected over the years. It's not really a huge collection at all. It's just a few things, but it's still really cool, to see all the stuff that I've collected, especially from like Wisconsin sports and stuff like that over the years. So without further ado, let's get it. Let's start a little bit smaller here. These are some cards and some media guides that I've had over the years. The four that you see right here, these are all from the 2006 Packers team set, which for some reason I've always had. I'm not really sure why, but these are like the four players from that team that I like the most. Charles Woodson, Brett Favre, Donald Driver, A.J. Hawk. And A.J. Hawk is a rookie card. I know that A.J. Hawk wasn't exactly a Hall of Famer in his career, but, he was always... he was a Packer for a really long time, and I think it's kind of cool that I have a rookie card of him. Also, a very, very little-known quarterback, but Pat White of Miami. This is like a mint condition rookie card. I have no idea where I got this one either, but it's still pretty cool to have, a rookie card in the plastic case and everything. My media guide's up here. This one's from 2015. I try to get one every year. I don't know what happened to the ones in between 2015 and my 2019 one right here, but I love going to get the media guides because it just has like literally every statistic you could possibly think of. It's so cool to look through it, look at the history of the Packers and everything like that. Over here is a Mike Holmgren card. What does it say on it? It's got, let's see, Season to Remember, that's right. And I think this was back in this was back in 96, 97, when we won the Super Bowl. Again, no idea where I got this card from, but I've had it forever. Here's a $100 million obviously a fake a fake dollar bill, but it's got Aaron Rodgers on it. It says leader of the pack. I think I got this at like a sports shop in Chicago or something. And it was probably back when I was like 10 or 11, I think, but that's where I think I remember getting this one from. And then finally for the cards, yeah, I hate Tom Brady. Yeah, I think he's overrated, but it's still kind of cool to have this one from 2002 Topps Tom Brady card, the year after he won the Super Bowl with the Patriots. Like I said, don't like Tom Brady, but still kind of cool to have a card from back in 2002 and for it to be, a player like Tom Brady. So when I was a kid and people actually still used to read the newspaper, I used to save the headlining papers from the sports section or whatever of big Packers victories. These are the three that I have managed to keep over the years. Unfortunately, I think I lost a lot of them after I moved a few years ago, but obviously the two on the far left here are from the day after the Packers won the Super Bowl back in 2011. The first one on the left here is the headlining paper, and that one is the sports section. And then this one on the far right is from when the Packers won the divisional round in 2007 against the Seahawks, the famous Snow Bowl game. But I remember all these games very well, and I remember especially opening up the paper on, the day after the Packers won and seeing these headlines, and I was just starstruck because I couldn't believe that, it was such a huge deal to make the front page and everything like that, and to have such a big headline and everything. It was just I'd never seen anything like it, and hopefully the Packers are able to replicate their success, and maybe I'll go out and buy a commemorative issue of the Wisconsin State Journal or something after that. But in the meantime, these are the three ones that I've managed to save over the years. I have no idea where the rest of them are, but still, even though it doesn't really have a whole lot of value outside of me personally, I think it's really cool to have all three of these and, to remember, to commemorate what happened all those years ago. These are a few of the Sports Illustrated issues and game programs that I've been able to collect over the years. And like with the papers, I know that I used to have a bigger collection of these, but still, it's really, really cool to have all of them. We'll start over here on the left. This is the game program from the Packers versus the Seahawks in 2004. If you guys remember, it was the famous Al Harris pick six game to win in overtime. That was what this game program was from. My mom and dad went to it. all the way back then. I was only 4 years old, so obviously I probably wouldn't it wouldn't be ideal for me to go to a loud football stadium. But that's from that game. This one right here is from the 1997 Pro Bowl. My mom and dad went to Hawaii back in February of '97, and they went to go see the Pro Bowl, and they actually got a game program and everything, and they were able to see. I think my dad had a story once of like him. He was like at the airport or something, and they saw Brett Favre getting off the plane or something, and he was so excited. He was filming with his camcorder or a camcorder or whatever, and he screams out loud, "Hey, it's Brett Favre!" And like all the press and media heard him and just like sprinted over to hound him, But I think that's how it went. He's told me that story several times before, but still really cool to have the game program from a Pro Bowl. Let's get into the Sports Illustrated here. This is the issue right after the Packers won the Super Bowl with Desmond Howard on it back in 1996. As you can see, it's got special team on it, which is kind of like a play on words with the special teams being the key factor in winning that Super Bowl with Desmond Howard, the kick returner, winning the MVP. Then you've got a few Brett Favre issues here, a couple Brett Favre issues. Both of these were released after Favre retired for the first time with the Green Bay Packers, commemorating his career with all of with like these special editions and stuff. It's got like a bunch of different pictures of Favre throughout the years and everything, and it's really cool. And then you've got the one immediately following his retirement decision. It's kind of got some of the same stuff commemorating. I think they've got a few old articles in it that you can read as well. And then the final one here, the 75th anniversary of the Heisman Trophy Special Edition. It's got like a bunch of Heisman winners from over the years as well. So those are the 6 that I found. I know that I probably have more somewhere too, but these are the ones I could find at the moment. They're all really cool to have, and I'm really proud of being able to own them. Here we have 2 collector's items, one from the Packers, one from the Brewers. The one on the left here from the Packers is like a 50th anniversary commemorative coin celebrating 50 years at Lambeau Field. And if you open it up on the inside here, we've got like the logo or the patch that we wore in 2007, like I think that's the similar design to it. I'm not exactly sure where I got this. I think my dad probably bought it back in 2007. Because I certainly don't remember buying anything back in 2007 when I was 7 years old. But that was still really cool to have. And then on the right here we have the replica of the 1982 AL Champions ring that the Brewers had. They ran a promotion for the 1982 team back in 2017, and that Sunday game against the Phillies, I think we played. I went to it, and we got replica rings. Here I can take it out and show you guys up close. It's a pretty well-made, replica. I mean, it's obviously not the real thing, but I mean, it's still made with like pretty high-quality metal, and it's got the logos and everything on it, the Brewers and the American League, everything. So really, really high-quality replica. That's really cool to have. So those are the 2 collector's items that I have. Here is a Brett Favre jersey. This is the only jersey I'm including in this collection because it's a specially made jersey for Brett Favre's Pro Football Hall of Fame induction. Back in 2016 when he was inducted, I went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio a few weeks before, just to beat the rush, and get to see all the stuff that they had for those players. But I bought this jersey. I think it was about $200. It's really, really nicely made. It's not. I don't think it's stitched here. I think it's ironed on, but it's still. I mean, it's still pretty good quality. And then you go on the front here, flip it over. You've got the patch here, the Pro Football Hall of Fame patch. This is stitched on. And overall, it's really high quality. I really like it. I don't wear it a whole lot because of that. I think you guys have seen me wear it in videos before, but usually I don't wear it for more than just the video because I just want to wear it just for like decoration and stuff. But still, really, really cool thing to have. back before I started using electronic and mobile tickets on my smartphone, I used to get paper tickets in the mail to go see games, and these are just a few of them that I've collected over the years. Like with some other things, I know I have some more, I just have no idea where they are, but we'll start with the ones on the left here. The first one here is from 2015, the May 31st game. It was the 17-inning game where Martin Maldonado hit a walk-off home run for the Brewers. It was the longest game in Miller Park history at the time, so really cool to keep that ticket and remember that great game. This one from 2011 versus the Buccaneers. I don't actually think I went to this game. I think it was my mom who went to this game because a friend of hers has like the gold package season tickets or something. But that was from that game. I think the Packers won that game 38-26 or something. I remember watching that game on TV. These two, though, these are my favorite because this was by far my favorite game that I've ever been to. It was a playoff game back in 2013 where we played the Vikings. It was that game where Joe Webb started at quarterback for the Vikings. But it's actually an interesting story how I got these tickets. It was a few days after my 13th birthday, and my dad took me up to Lambeau Field to, experience the playoff atmosphere. We weren't planning on going to the game, but on our way back to our car about an hour before game time, we realized that we were blocked in, and we couldn't get out. We couldn't get our car out because the people who had parked us in were probably going to the game. So we didn't really have much other choice, so we just kind of started walking around, trying to find, a restaurant or a bar to go in and watch the game at. And we ran into a guy who was selling tickets for face value, and my dad whipped out $300, and boom, we were sitting at the 40-yard line. That was one of the coolest experiences I ever remember, and, I'm so thankful for my dad for giving me the best birthday present of all time. That was one of the greatest memories I have as a kid. But, yeah, really cool that I got to go see that game. I was, only a few rows behind the Vikings bench. I got to see Adrian Peterson up close and personal. It was just really, really cool. But moving on here, this is a ticket from the first game that I ever went to versus the Dolphins back in 2010. We ended up losing that game in overtime, and I was really, really sad. Aaron Rodgers led a game-tying drive in the fourth quarter, and I remember the crowd was just hyped. I was screaming and jumping around and everything, and losing that game, it really, really made me sad, and I just was the rest of the day, I could barely do anything. But it ended up working out because the Packers won the Super Bowl that year. So I think I was going to be all right after that game. But this is the most recent paper ticket from a game that I went to back in 2015. This was a game where the Packers lost to the Lions to end that long winning streak. That was a really, really tough game, too, because it was we were down 8, I think, 18-10, and Rodgers led a touchdown drive, and then Devontae Adams dropped the 2-point conversion. But we got the we got the onside kick. I think Demarius Randall recovered it, and Crosby missed a 50-yard field goal as time expired, and we ended up losing for the first time in Wisconsin to the Lions since 1991. But over here, this is the ticket of a game that my mom went to. I think this is the gold package thing, the season ticket holder that my family friend has that my mom went with. This is a game where Rodgers had the perfect rating, so I decided to keep the ticket. She gave it to me because she knows I like to collect that kind of stuff. And then the final tickets I'd like to show you. It's not really sports, but it still was at a sports venue. It was a Paul McCartney concert at Miller Park back in 2013. Getting to see Paul McCartney at Miller Park was just an amazing experience. And I also got to see him at Lambeau Field earlier this year, so that was really, really cool. But those are the tickets that I have that I know of so far. There are probably some more somewhere else, but I just don't know where they are right now. And last but certainly not least, these are all of the amateur, professional, used baseballs that I have acquired over the years. I have 6 of them that I can find at the moment, at least, and I think these are actually all 6 that I actually own. But we'll start here over on the left. This is from the Northwoods League All-Star Game back in, when was this? 2008. 2008 is what it says on the ball. But the Madison Mallards play near where I live, so I think I went to it one year, and I got it signed by some players. I have no idea what players they are, but still kind of cool to have a baseball from an all-star game. Here we have a baseball from a minor league game over in Michigan, the Grand Rapids or Western Michigan Whitecaps or something. I have a lot of family that lives over in Michigan, and they like to go to minor league games, and I got a ball at one time when I was going to visit them. Over here are the first of the Major League Baseballs that I have. This one here I got from toss-up from Bubba Derby when I was up sitting behind the Reds bullpen. I think that was back in 2016 I got this one. This one right here, this is one that I got from the Maldonado game, actually, when he hit that walk-off in 17 innings. This is an A.J. Pollock double off of Matt Garza in, like, I think the 13th or 14th inning. It was a ground rule double. It bounced into the bullpen, and I was able to get one of the guys to toss it up to me, so that was really cool to have. A.J. Pollock was an all-star, and Matt Garza was the ALCS MVP, so it was really cool to have a ball that was both touched by Matt Garza and made contact with by an all-star bat. Then these two right here, these are the oldest ones that I have. They're both from my dad. This one right here, I'm not exactly sure what game he got it, but it's an official American League ball back when they had, like, it was a lot more separated, the MLB, with the American versus the National, where they didn't play each other unless it was the World Series. My dad grew up a big Tigers fan, and his family used to take him to Tigers games at least once a year, and he would go, you know, hunting for baseballs like a lot of kids did back then and still do now. And he would get some batting practice balls. I think this is probably a batting practice ball, but it looks like it's from 1970s, I would say. Early 1970s, I would say, this era. And then this one right here, this one was signed by someone, I'm pretty sure. Let me try to find the signature. Yeah, down here, I cannot make out who signed it. It looks like Chet something. I'm not exactly sure. Chet Jennings, maybe? I don't know, but I'd have to ask my dad because I don't know. But he gave me this baseball, official American League. Really, really cool to have a baseball from a previous era like that because they don't make these anymore. So those are probably two of, like, the coolest things I actually own. So anyways, guys, that is the extent of my collection so far. I know it's not really that big, but it's still a lot of really cool stuff to have, you know. I mean, especially, you know, the baseballs and the newspapers and everything like that, just to have relics of, you know, a previous era. I just think it's really, really cool. And, you know, I'm someone who really likes history, not only sports history, but world history, stuff like that. I love to collect things and everything, so to have all these items, it's just really, really cool. But I'm only 20 years old. I can always add to the collection as I grow older, and I'm sure I certainly will. And I might end up making an updated version of this video at some point in the near or far future, you know, whenever the collection expands to a certain point. But anyways, guys, though, that's my collection. Leave a comment in the comments section below. What was your favorite item that you saw in this video? And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it.